Hello, good morning and welcome to this week's coffee vlog. It's Friday the 24th of February and I'm going to be on my way to work. As you can see from the dash cam, we have a problem. It's 1 degree and we have a bit of frost on the window. I could have scraped it beforehand, but I'm kind of thinking there's not that much. Let's wipe the mist off the side window. There's not that much, so the car heater should clear it in a relatively short amount of time. So this week has been it's been pretty good actually, because it's been school holidays. What does that mean? No traffic on the road, nice easy drive to work. Plus also of course I've been getting an hour more sleep this week than usual, because I haven't had to sort of get up and sort everyone out, so the youngest is ready for school and everything else, so I've just been getting up, going to work, nice and easy. Well, should be nice and easy, except at the moment not happening because of the frosty bits. Let's give it a quick scrape. No good for the wiper blade, shocking. Shouldn't really do that, but he's getting there though. So we're not too much in a rush yet because of the light traffic, no cars on the road, so we'll get there pretty quick anyway. In fact, I might do a little bit of Richard Nellis's while I'm stuck in position. But yeah, this week has been it's been pretty good actually. We managed to avoid most of the big storm that smothered the UK with snow and winds and gales and blowing stuff over, so yeah, we really didn't get a lot. It was a bit windy on Wednesday night through Thursday morning. It snowed a bit. No, it didn't snow. It poured with rain. We didn't have any snow. We didn't have any sniff of snow, unfortunately. I think I saw some in the Lake District in Scotland got snow, but we didn't. But other than that, it was a bit windy. Next door shed, one side panel of the roof went flipped over. A bit like a little hamster house where you can lift the lid flap over and get inside to clean it or whatever. It just peeled that lid section back and flopped it over the other side. And I think he just reversed it back the other way again now. But other than that, yeah, nothing too serious for us. Fortunately, we got away with it, I think. So most of the storm hasn't been too bad. I've had a pretty steady away week at work. I mean, it's not been real hectic. I did go Cold Drawn Products Wednesday morning, on a Wednesday morning run this time to drop their coffee off, and then round to Lightcliff Tea Rooms to drop some stock off, and also replace the drip tray and front fascia plates below the drip tray of the machine, because they weren't happy. The drip tray wasn't fitting right, and the manufacturer sent their rep out, and they had a look at it and decided that they must have had a warp in the metalwork. And they kind of said, oh, it must have got knocked in transit, but it came on a pallet and it was a box with a load of polystyrene all around it, so I don't think that happened. So I think it was mainly badly produced when it was manufactured, that particular plate. So I had to unbolt that one, which was a pain in the backside to do. 8 bolts, a little spanner to undo the bolts, and the main ones that hold the bottom of the tray, so you're underneath the machine, and there's not that much space to go under the machine. The main ones are sort of held in the bolts go into nuts on the inside that are like rivet nuts riveted into the bodywork, the chassis, only they're not riveted very well, so I'm on my way undoing the nut, and then I realise nothing's happening, and I look inside and I realise that the bolt's going and the nut's just spinning with the bolt, so it's never coming undone. So of course then I'm going to get mould grips, so I'm going to try and grab that and do that. Same going back on again, and it was just fiddly, and then I got there before they opened, and then they opened, so of course every few minutes I'm stopping so they can make a drink and put everything back on. What a farce! So I wasn't best pleased with the manufacturers about that one. Also had a trip out Wednesday, Tuesday. Tuesday we had some local van deliveries, only a few. Not very often I go, don't worry, I'll do the local deliveries, except I had collected a load more scrap metal, copper and brass off old machines, so I was like, yeah, I'll load my van up with that and head down as well. So another £243 collected from the scrap man for my old bits, and a much more tidier warehouse for it as well, so that's good. All ready now to have some additional radiators in the warehouse bit to warm it up a bit more. So we're getting that put through, and some hot water feed as well to the sink that we have out there. We never had hot water there, we're going to have that put in now as well. So that's all going great guns. Right, I think we can see enough to safely drive without running anyone over because we can't see them. Which, incidentally, leads me on to, I uploaded like yesterday just a video of my drive to work, which was very uninteresting, but I just thought I'd put it up anyway, why not? I need this, I think. Sorry for the little mark on the camera, but the dazzle is very dazzling. So yeah, uploaded a video. My drive to work wasn't too exciting. Yeah, a bit wet, whatever else, and I did cheat. It was pouring rain when I got to work, so I was like, oh, I'm going to drive straight in, even though I know it's going to set the burglar alarm off. Which it did do, but it's not so bad. I mean, if you only do it when it's really bad weather, I don't think it's going to annoy the neighbours that much. They have to listen to the burglar alarm for the minute, and it's only a minute to get through to where the control panel is and turn the alarm off. So uploaded that, and I put some bonus footage on right at the end of it, so probably no one will notice that because it's at the end. I was driving into Tesco's car park last night, pick up a few essentials, and just out of nowhere, this guy just sort of appeared in front of the car, and I was like, whoa, and slammed my brake on and swerved a bit, and he kind of jumped back, and I was very fortunate, I think, not to have run into him. And I'm gonna admit, it's one of those occasions where having a dash cam running is actually quite handy, because I was able to go back home afterwards and review the footage, and it does actually show, I think, you can watch yourselves and make your own comments, but it does show I definitely wasn't in the wrong, because at the time when I did it I thought, oh well, maybe I wasn't paying enough attention, you know, I was just driving along, minding my own business, not looking where I should be looking, and I've nearly run into him or whatever. But when you view it back again, well, you can do it slowly and sort of pause and whatever else, I mean, there was actually no way I could see him, because A, he came out from behind a parked car, so there's no chance for me to see him. Because I think his intent was I would stop to let him cross, which I'm going to admit, you know, normally in a supermarket car park, if people are waiting and I can see them waiting up, I would stop to let them cross. But the thing is, you can't stop for someone that you don't know's there. And there was no way I could see him. He came out from behind a parked car. But what really scuppered it was there was a car on the main road which runs alongside coming towards me that had super bright headlights, and they completely dazzled me. And they dazzled me just at the point that the guy decides to walk out. So you can see the dazzle in the camera as well. So they'd have been making me sort of squint because they were so bright, and they were kind of just at that point happened to be pointing directly at me. And he's sort of coming out of nowhere straight in front of the car. So realistically, when I saw him was the only opportunity I was going to see him. You know, there was no other way. I would have seen him prior to that because of the car and whatever else, and then I was dazzled, so I wouldn't see him as he was starting to step out, presuming I was going to stop. So I think they are, on the whole, that wasn't my fault, although at the time I thought it was. But it does go to show again, I mean, people now and again will presume that you're going to stop to let them out, just like that. But I mean, you can't presume anything. I mean, when I'm pedestrianised, walking along or crossing the road or whatever else, and going out for a walk with the boys or whatever, you know, we stop and wait. If you're at a crossing, even a pedestrian crossing, which incidentally there was one just a bit further down, he could have walked up the parking base to the pedestrian crossing, which is well lit and clearly the place you'd sensibly cross. But even at a sort of pedestrian crossing that isn't lights, it's just the zebra crossings, I mean, I get there and I'll stand and wait until cars both directions stop. You know, not one of these people who get to it and because it's a pedestrian crossing just presume they should walk out and expect everyone to stop for them. People don't. Someone might not have noticed you there. You might be walking out and they're slightly looking in another direction, whatever else. They're just going to run into you. Until the car's physically stopped, you've no idea if it will or won't. So, yeah, I mean, I always wait, whatever it is, until a car has stopped. I don't just presume that they've seen me and going to give way to me, as it were. There you are. I imagine that's how a lot of accidents do happen. But it's another sort of thing about having a dash cam running nowadays, that it's that little bit of defence if something does happen, that you can, well, it might prove that you were in the wrong, but it's also there just to show that you weren't, maybe, for whatever happened. So yeah, that was that. Also, I have had, in case you haven't noticed, a bit of a haircut. Lost a fair bit of weight off there, in fact, actually. Looking very trim now. That should last me quite a few months, I reckon. So it was getting a bit sort of long and unruly, especially around the sides again. When the fact the top was very long. So I've finally succumbed to getting that chopped down again. And yeah, I think it's looking pretty good for it. Saturday did some enforced building work at home. The missus decided she wanted to get a sort of cup shelf put up in the kitchen. I mean, we had a little just realised I brought the screws, the hook screws that she wanted with me. Didn't leave them behind. I'll have to wait till tomorrow. Sort it out then anyway. So yeah, so we had like a little metal rail running along above the counter that utensils hung on. There was a little basket for stuff and whatever else. And then she decided, we got a new plate and cup set, and there was a load of cups, and there was too many cups to fit anywhere. So looking at designs, and there's like sort of a floating shelf sort of design, just with a little ridge in it, to put cups on. And we've got loads of wood from building the fort thing outside, which obviously has paused quite considerably since last, I don't know, maybe October. I think it kind of stopped when all the weather started getting rubbish. We still got all the wood for that, so battens and a good thick piece of that wood made up the shelf and chopped it all up. In fact, the missus measured it and chopped it. Well, I did the chopping actually. She just measured it off, marked off where it was to chop, and I chopped it for her with the jigsaw, and then just mounted it up on the wall, which went on nicely. It looks like a floating shelf, so stick the cups on. Good stuff. So I had that to do, and also a kitchen cabinet door to repair. Always a bugbear for me. Kitchen cabinet doors, never get the damn things to line up right. But one of them in the sort of the corner to the left of the sink, it opened really. It was opening the wrong way. We moved the bases about last February, I think it was. Repositioned everything, and it meant that one was opening sort of towards the wall, making it really, you had to like go around it to try and get in it, and it was in the way, and consequently what happened, it got pulled too far all the time, and eventually pulled all the screws out from the top hinge, is it top? Oh no, it's bottom hinge, from the woodwork, and they kept putting it in and no nailers in it, but because once you've made the holes too big, the holes are too big, and it just kept popping off again. It wasn't very, so it was just awkward. You couldn't really use the cupboard for anything much because you couldn't get in or out of it. So took that door off and swapped the hinges round, but of course because there was no hole marks, I had to sort of make my own holes and mark them off, which was a bit of a tricky job. Cyclist. No one's coming. So yeah, took that off and remounted it so it now opens the other way, and it works a lot better. So then cleared all, well, I had it off, cleared it all out in that cupboard and got rid of all the junk, which was just junk bits of tools and all sorts of rubbish. So cleared all that out, made it nice and clean, and we now made it an extra cupboard for useful stuff. So it was quite a productive Saturday, even though we actually didn't leave the house, which is a bit of a rarity. But So that was pretty good. Sunday was the youngest birthday, of course. Now a mighty 7. So exciting day. Got a new bike, 16-inch bike now. So he was having to go on that because if it was nice weather, it was the only nice weather they've had this week. Today is looking like the calm after the storm. It's going to be a nice day today, so you might get out on that bike today, even though it's a bit nippy. It might warm up with the clear skies. So it was youngest birthday, and yeah, he got some various toys and games. One thing I kind of hinted on last week was I picked up the Lego Dimensions set and the new Lego Batman movie game pack for it, and also Simpsons, because he's kind of into his Simpsons. So well, he didn't watch the Simpsons programme, as it were, but he just likes the Simpsons characters, which I think goes back to his brother likes the Simpsons, but his brother remembers the original Simpsons programme. We're a bit mucky. So got the Lego Dimensions, which is kind of, we had obviously Disney Infinity before it, a few years back when that came out, which I only really got that because it had all the Star Wars characters, and I like the characters. In fact, the characters still look good even when they're not playing the game, just sat on a shelf, all the different Star Wars characters. So, but the Disney Infinity is, I think, probably a more comprehensive kind of game. I mean, obviously the idea of it being Lego, not Disney Infinity, isn't it? Lego Dimensions. Being Lego, you have little, as well as the men that stand on little counters, and then when you put them on the board, it bounces them into the game world. But you also have little ships and cars and things that you can build up to go with it, which is designed to be built within the game. So it makes it a bit more interactive, and it's not just playing a video game. You bit of Lego and you build up the car with following the instructions on the screen to then put it on the gamepad and play with it. But also another interesting part of it, they were playing on it last Sunday, was they got stuck at one point because that was in like a Wizard of Oz section they were playing in, and they had to get the witch, but the witch caught one of them, and they couldn't get away from her, and they couldn't work out how to do it. And I had to look it up online in the end because I couldn't figure it out either. But interestingly, the gamepad thing, whereas on the Disney Infinity you just have one character in a little section, it has sections, 2 sections, and a section I think for like the game or car or whatever else you have, and you can actually put more than one character on the little character sections. And in this case, what it was is the character that was on the left-hand one, which was flashing red, you had to take him off there and put him on the right-hand one, which was okay with the other character, and then that sort of broke him out of the witch's spell because that side was red, and then you did it vice versa. But it was quite interesting. You could have more than one character in each section, that they've sort of done it that way. So that was good. So it's been good. I've been enjoying playing on that. It's a bit different. I got it for the Xbox. The Xbox gets a bit of use as well, and it was a little bit cheaper than the PS4. So, and also it's easier to run the cable to where the Xbox is compared to where I put the PS4 now. So, so that's a good bit of gaming. What else has been happening this week? Oh, new iOS betas again, and I've got to admit my Apple Watch appears to be coming along in leaps and bounds. I mean, I don't know if it's the betas, you know, the WatchOS betas, because they're rolling out with the, so, you know, more people crossing the road, and no chance of seeing no one because it's too sunny. A bit better. So, yeah, the watch is ridiculously good on battery at the moment. I don't really know what it is. I mean, obviously there must be tweaking all the time, even on my aged first gen Apple Watch, tweaking all the settings and things, but it's impressive, I can admit. I mean, it's doing the sort of lift thing a lot better than it used to do. It's much more reliable now. If I lift that, it does show the display pretty religiously now, whereas prior, you know, you'd lift it up, it's kind of stayed dark, and you have to tap on it to get it to wake. or put it down and lift it up again if you couldn't tap because you've got mucky hands or whatever. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, they've definitely improved the Apple Watch. Phone, it seems to be running pretty smooth. Obviously we've got the new operating system. Battery isn't particularly fantastic on, well, not my iPhone 6 Plus anyway, but I don't think that's anything to do with the OS so much as just the fact that it's a 2-year-old. Is it 2? No, it's 3, isn't it? No, 3 years now. We've gone through 2 generations since this one. So it's a fairly aged old device. It's not surprising the battery is a bit tired. But have a quick look at Richard Nels's things. I know he's going swimming on Saturday morning at Huddersfield Baths, and he's going to go on the slides as well. That'll be good fun, actually. I'll maybe take the youngest, but I don't know. He probably wouldn't like the slides at some point. He sang on Tuesday, Release Me by Wilson Phillips. Very good. Good song to sing, Richard. It's setting off now, so. Do not reply at hermsparcelmanager.co.uk. That's a bit. So, yep, and his mum came back from being away. Oh, just sneaked through there. Well, but the guy behind's going through, and he's definitely going through on red. And the next one as well. Tut, tut, tut. Oh, Bob, yes, you said about me going the wrong way at that junction yesterday. If there's a very long queue up for the right hand side, I do go on the left to avoid the queue, because if there's a long queue you're going to wait a few light changes. So if you go on the left, I can go left and then just turn around and wait at the lights there, and you miss out waiting on a light change or two. It's a few minutes, I know, but every few minutes counts when you're on your way to work, doesn't it? So we'll get parked up. First here, still 8:36, the latest I've been this week, to be honest. We did have 5 minutes sat waiting for the mist. So let's get that opening up. No, Richard. Yes, Richard's other things. So yes, his mum's been back since Wednesday. Dracula Dead and Loving It, and he sent me a little link. Well, he tweeted a little link on his Twitter, Richard Nellis did. Dracula Dead and Loving It with Leslie Nielsen. And I'm not sure I've seen that film, and I thought I'd seen all of Leslie Nielsen's. I mean, I know I did really like Leslie Nielsen as an actor. I thought he was really funny. He did some great stuff. And it looks like that Dead and Loving It, 1995 spoof of the vampire story. So yeah, I think I might watch that at some point. So, yeah, I'll get on and find a copy, obtain a copy from somewhere, maybe. Yeah, and we'll have a go at that. Mrs. actually and the eldest watched the absolutely fabulous movie the other night, and yeah, they said it was really funny. It was a bit of an odd one for them to watch, but yeah, no one had watched it. I didn't watch it. I was upstairs with the youngest. He got his YouTubers on. I think Mango Tango's the flavour of the month at the moment. It was quite funny. He does all sorts of different gameplay videos and things. So anyway, that's it. I better get in because I'm dying for a coffee, to be honest, and nothing else. So have a good weekend and week next week, and I'll catch you in next week's coffee vlog. See ya.